Good afternoon, good afternoon. I wonder, where are you based right now? Today we will speak about reconnecting with yourself. As Thursdays are all about self-discovery and finding yourself, reconnecting with yourself, I wanted to share with you my observations and the benefits of solo traveling. But before we move on, I would love to find out, where are you based and where are you joining me from? Because so far I've done these solo travels quite a lot. They were based on me wanting to discover myself, me wanting to dig deeper, dive deeper into myself and my subconscious. And therefore, I've done already a couple of trips and I would love to see if I have been to where you are. So please share below this video in your comments, where exactly are you joining me from? And especially, what is the time difference? Because it's quite interesting sometimes to see, how far apart we are in terms of time. So that's amazing to see somebody joining me from Toronto, Canada. I don't know why sometimes I cannot see on LinkedIn who exactly is commenting, but I can see we have Toronto. I've been to Toronto actually, and I really enjoyed the beautiful, wonderful Niagara Falls, India, Lanzarote as well. That's wonderful. Somebody's from India. That's amazing. I actually have been to India, but I don't think so I've been to Lanzarote. No, I have been to Lanzarote actually. That's interesting. And Chepstow, UK. That's interesting, William. I don't think so I've been to Chepstow. Wow, I wonder where is it based. Need to check my map knowledge. That's amazing. Well, thank you so much for sharing where you're joining me from. I'll keep checking. I'll keep wondering what time is where you are, because I find it quite remarkable how we can connect with the entire world from our own living rooms, from our own offices, from our own spaces. And actually, we have somebody joining me from Pakistan. That's amazing. We are going international. We are going global today. Again, how exciting. So let me share with you the benefits of solo traveling. And by the way, I would like to find out, have you ever traveled by yourself? Have you ever experienced this joy and this challenge and this a bit interesting way of traveling by yourself? If you have done, I would love to hear your thoughts, and I would love to hear, how was your experience? Did you enjoy it? Did you not? What did you do when you traveled by yourself? Please do let me know. So the recent trip which I have completed was a 2 weeks trip in Cornwall, and that was because lately I was feeling that I need my own space, I need my own time. And I must say that it's really powerful when you go away and you stand and you stay by yourself within your own thoughts. And I must say, with some of my clients, we did the same thing, not together. When I refer to we, because I always get so immersed in the work with my clients that I connect with them. I always dissolve in the energy. And that's why I always refer to we, because, and even when I give homework to my clients, it's always, okay, so let's work on, shall we, until next time. So it's always we, because I still connect with my clients. So lately I was noticing that I need my own time. And as I said, with my clients, we did the same things. Some clients went away for a longer time. One of my clients, he actually went away, was it 6 months? I think it was about 6 months he spent traveling, and he, including other clients, all said that I was really transformational and really, really life-changing. So here are the benefits of traveling on your own. Not only you are facing your own inner demons, you're facing your fears and insecurities, you are able to work on yourself, to ask yourself really powerful questions, to really have a conversation with yourself. And I know for some of you it might sound a bit weird, like, Olga, how do you have a conversation with yourself? Do you speak out loud? No, you don't speak out loud. It's quite interesting that you just have it in your own head, in your own mind. But what happens as you walk around, explore around, or even sometimes just like I did. Some days, because the weather wasn't that great, I was just in a hotel and I was doing my journaling. So here's the tip number one. Whenever you go away to be by yourself, with yourself, to work on yourself, it's really important to actually have something like a notepad or a usual journal where actually you can journal your thoughts, you can journal your discoveries, you can journal what exactly you are working on. Because if you don't do that, very often people just end up doing the sightseeing, taking pictures, talking to people, having lunches, dinners, and everything else, but not necessarily actually recording and monitoring and also paying attention to what actually they're working on. So it's really, really important to actually record that. So a blank notepad or even just your old journal, which you can take with you, can also help. And the way how I was doing, if somebody's interested to copy that, let me just put my phone here so actually I can see the comments. There'll be anything from Facebook. The way how I was doing, I was picking a topic, or I was picking a question which I wanted to work on during that particular day. And as I was exploring, and because I went to Cornwall, those who haven't been to Cornwall, I would strongly recommend you to go there because it's very picturesque, it's very beautiful, it's stunning, it's breathtaking place to go to. So if you really, really, really want to be taken away by the beauty of the nature, I think Cornwall here in the UK is one of the places to go. So as I was walking, exploring alongside the coastline of those beautiful, wonderful rocks and the waves crashing against the rocks, sometimes I would just sit down with a wonderful view in front of me, like the far, far away the horizon would be and birds would be flying. I would just pick one question, and that would be one question: what would bother me? And here's a trick. You know, like sometimes your mind is wandering and you think, oh, I wonder why that thought comes back to me again and again, or why that memory comes back to me again and again, or why I do come back to a particular argument or a particular person in my life, right? So we all have these inner voices, right, which are revisiting us on a regular basis. So that's exactly what you could start with. Start with that annoying thought, with that event, with that person or situation which actually keep coming back to you, and just ask yourself, why is it bothering me? Why do you come back? I want to understand what was the lesson. So what we are searching for when we are on our own, when we're exploring out and about on our soul traveling, it is about asking for those deepest answers, right? It's diving deeper and finding why that situation did not leave your subconscious. Because again, let's remember that we live our life based on subconscious, right? We do everything subconsciously. So if a situation comes back to your subconscious, it reminds you, and you get annoyed consciously, there is something for you to learn. So let me see where else we have people from. Dominic, I really appreciate you sharing your employment on training opportunities for young adults, North and West London. Please get in touch. That's wonderful. I guess it's a great opportunity to jump on somebody else's life and share this message. But I would appreciate if you don't do it on my lives, because I don't want to distract people from the main message. So thank you so very much. But I'm sure, Dominic, you can do the same thing. You can jump on live session and you can also share. And by the way, this comment is on LinkedIn. So thank you so much. I think it's a great, great thing. But same time, let's keep it to the topic. Thank you so very much. And I'm really glad you like my advice. So as you can see, that's why it's quite important to keep one message per live. So I'm sure you can also ask for permission to be on LinkedIn. And I'm sure this will be quite powerful for you to talk about employment and training opportunities, because right now it's really important. And Sheva, I'm so happy that you traveled alone. I would love to hear how actually did you find it? Was it powerful or was it not? And like William, what you're saying, I noted to myself often, sometimes it's the only place I can find sense. And this is so true, because we live our life based on what other people are or were programming us to do. And when we take this time to ourselves and we go away, this is when we reconnect with ourselves and we are able to see what is right for us. So I'm so happy to see that actually you enjoy that. That's really wonderful. And Antonia, thank you so much. And by the way, these comments are on LinkedIn. These for those people who are watching me right now on Facebook or YouTube. Antonia says, always good advice. I hope you have a great day. Looking beautiful as always. Thank you so much, Antonia. Antonia is one of my regular visitors, and she's joining me very often during my lives. I really appreciate you, Antonia. Thank you so very much. And also many others. So those who just joined me today, right now, we are talking about solo traveling. We're talking about how actually we can go away and reconnect with ourselves. And I love this comment from somebody on LinkedIn. I can't say the name for some reason, but it says, yes, it is actually quite liberating. And that's the point. When you travel on your own, you can think about whatever you want. You can go to places whichever you want. You don't have to compromise. You don't have to wait. You don't have to agree or disagree or even argue. And it's not saying that I don't enjoy travel with other people. Of course I enjoy. I travel with my friends. I travel with my partner. I travel with my child. We traveled so much as a bunch of people as well. But the power of you going away on your own is incredible. And here, let's not forget that it doesn't have to be a world tour. It doesn't have to be a really long journey. It could be as short as just going to the park on your own and spending half an hour or an hour a day. Right? Or it could be you taking your car or taking a train and going to visit another city, but doing it by yourself in your own country. But the time which you will spend by yourself will be the most invaluable. As I already mentioned, it's not only working on the situations, events, and people which keep coming back to you, but also questioning yourself and diving deeper into your subconscious. So let's go back to the situations which are reminding us about themselves again. And here's a really funny, I think, situation which was kind of popping in my head again as I was traveling. And I was thinking, okay, let's just deal with that. I don't understand why it keeps coming back. I can't see the reason. I can't see how it could be useful. Oh, I need to understand it. And I started to analyze. Situation is so little. It's so not even important. But you will see how events like that can really impact your life. When I was around about, I think 9, maybe 8 or 9, I lived with my parents quite far from school. It was really far. I had to walk to the bus stop for about 40 minutes and then take a bus and then get to school. So me and my friend, we went to the bus stop, wait for the bus arrived. She goes into the bus first and she points at her bag saying, my ticket is in the back. And the driver's like, all right. So I'm like, why am I taking my ticket every time? And I bet you anything, this is not even important, but this how much it affected me. So I'm like, my ticket is also in the back. And driver is like, no, I want to see your ticket. Because basically I do it for the first time, never done it before, right? His little message. I've done something for the first time, never done it before. You will see how it is linked to the end of the story. And as I opened my bag, I couldn't find my ticket. I had the ticket, I know, because we were buying like weekly or even monthly tickets for students. I knew I had the ticket, but the problem, I left it at home, whether in my coat or maybe on a table. I can't remember the details, but I do remember I had to get off, go all the way back home, fetch my ticket, and then go all the way back to bus stop, wait for the bus, and then go to school, right? So now this situation keeps coming back again. I'm thinking, how is the situation about me and my friend being on the bus can actually even be important? But now let's dive deeper. How did I feel at that moment when I said or pointed at something, right? So I verbalized, showed that I gave a message about something, and he did not believe me. And what did I have to do? I had to prove myself. So as of course, it didn't come to me just like instantly. I had to ask myself, how did I feel? What was the entire situation? If I would describe in a few words, what was it all about? Just as I said, I explained the message was not believed, I had to prove myself. And then, just like as a flashlight, I see my entire life in front of me, and I realized how I always felt the need to prove myself. So as you can see now, that little situation taught me a lesson which served me at that particular moment. But that's exactly what happens with our subconscious. Our subconscious learns a lesson from a situation and then applies that lesson across all areas and aspects in your behavior in your life. So the best thing what you can do is sometimes stop, and that's why soul traveling is so helpful. Stop and revisit that lesson, revisit that event, and to realize, what did you learn? So this is the first part. Now you found out what was the lesson, what was the situation, how did I feel, right? What my subconscious observed from that situation. And now to really let go of that situation in peace, we have to change it. Because it's good to find out. It's almost like when you go to dentist, he says, open your mouth, he inspects your teeth, and he says, oh, I found one, which needs a bit of TLC, a bit of work. But it's not enough to just inform you about that, right? You got to really complete the work. You have to either pull it out and like install your artificial tooth, or you have to do a little TLC and to fix whatever issue you have with your teeth, right? So here's the thing about this subconscious work as well. As I found my situation, I found that lesson, which, as you can see, it wasn't a big situation, it wasn't a life-changing situation, it wasn't an impactful situation. But this is how dangerous it is, that your subconscious really learns from every situation and every event in your life. The more drastic an emotional event is, the bigger lesson will be, or the bigger impact will be on you. But you know what exactly actually helped that particular situation land so deeply into my subconscious? Me being so upset. So upset with myself. I went into self-blame. I went into crying. I remember I was crying when I was walking back home because I couldn't believe I lied, right? So I felt I lied. Clearly, I didn't know I don't have a ticket in my bag, but I believed and I felt like I was lying because I showed the ticket is there. And this is how it impacts us. So as we found the lesson, we found what exactly you learned subconsciously from an event or a circumstance or maybe a conversation with somebody. Now is the time to replace it, right? And the way how you replace it is in a positive way. And I know sometimes to go from I'm deeply unhappy and I'm negative to I'm really happy, it's quite challenging because you say I'm happy consciously, but your subconscious goes, I know you're not, right? So now we have this balance. So subconscious will have a hard time to believe in that. So what you can do to help yourself is to have a gradual journey, almost like every day I'm happy and happier, right? Or every day I find new reasons why to be joyful and why to be happy. This is just an example, but now let's go back to my situation. What could I tell myself about the feeling of constantly proving myself, about the feeling of not being trustworthy, right? Even though I wasn't aware I wasn't. So what I said to myself on that day when I discovered this massive lesson from my event back in my childhood, which impacted me subconsciously, I said to myself that I trust myself and others trust me. And what do I mean by I trust myself? I trust myself that if I say something, it comes from my heart, right? And if I'm sometimes wrong, that's because of lack of knowledge, right? Lack of knowledge back then, not having the ticket in my bag because I didn't know it's not there. It was lack of knowledge. It wasn't me deliberately lying to the driver. It wasn't me deliberately coming up with a story. It was lack of knowledge, right? And very often when people say, I have trust issues, very often it means they don't trust themselves. So I wonder, have you had a situation in your life which keeps coming back to you subconsciously, which keeps reminds you about that event, that situation? And I mean, of course, if you experienced something like death in front of you, experienced something like rape, if you experienced something like really, really that massive, it's a different story, right? And even though there, things happened to you because they shaped you, they built you, they molded you in who you are, right? There are different events which happen to you, but we need to remember it's not the most drastic events in your life, it's also little events. And if they're still coming back to you, that means there's something for you to learn from them. Right? So this was the only one situation which actually I shared with you. But altogether, within 14 days, I had, I think, 14 breakthroughs, 14 things I was working on. I know it sounds quite a lot. It sounds like one a day. No, it wasn't. And by the way, it wasn't, right? Because what happens when you spend days and nights being busy with social media, being busy with your business, with your career, with your children, with your partner, you have so much noise around you that it takes time to calm your mind. It takes time to find that peace, to find that space in your mind to start working on yourself. So I'll be honest with you, it took me 5 days to calm my mind. In the beginning, I was still checking my phone and I was still responding on things and I was still answering people's phone calls and I was still answering some WhatsApp messages to a limit because I did inform people that I am going away to work on myself and I need peace and quiet and zero communication with the outside world. Even though you did see me going live and I was working with my clients, but that was my professional part, right? Professionally, I was still keeping my arrangements. I was still keep going. I was still working with my clients. But in my private life, I'd say to all people in my inner and outer circle that, hey, I am out. Don't call me, don't text me because I'm out. I mean, you can call me, text me, but I'm not going to respond because I need my own time. And this is a really, really important point. When you go away, even if it is just park journey, just another city journey, but when you go away by yourself, keep communication to a minimum. Verbal communication, over text messages, over emails, checking social media, because the more you distract yourself, the longer it will take you to reconnect with yourself. Right? So that's why it took me some time to calm my mindset down because I was still here and there checking on, answering to those people who were wondering why I don't respond back to them saying, hey, by the way, yeah, I forgot to tell you, but I'm away right now. So please make sure when you do your solo traveling or when you take your time, even if it is just an hour a day, put your phone on a flight mode or leave your phone at home. I wasn't leaving it in my hotels because I was taking pictures and I was recording videos, which I'm posting right now, for example. Some of them I was posting during my travels, but I kept my phone for capturing moments. But that's why I kept my journal with me to capture my thoughts and my observations. Right? So altogether, I had 14 revelations, breakthroughs, and they were really powerful. And another thing which you need to remember about solo traveling, that it will be emotional. It really will be, because you reconnect with yourself. You dive deeper into your subconscious. you work through your demons, you challenge yourself, and some things you will discover, and that will make you so emotional. Like, I remember, oh, that was so emotional. Honestly, I think I was crying for probably half an hour, if not longer. But those were happy tears. Let's remember that when you will have those revelations, when you will have those tears, in 90% of cases, there will be happy tears. In 10%, yes, probably you will go in self-pity. Maybe you will go into the mode of, oh, why it happened to me? And you want to do that. You know what? Let it go. You're by yourself. Feel emotions. Let them inspire you. Let them heal you and release everything what you were building up inside of you, right? So if you are getting emotional when you're solo traveling, let it be. Let it happen, because that will also help you. But very often you'll be emotional out of happiness, just like I was during that particular moment. So as I spent first few days traveling through Cotswolds and Devon, towards the Cornwall, I didn't want to just get there in like 7 hours. I wanted to see things on the way. The first place which I arrived in Cornwall was, I can't remember the place, but there was a beautiful, very, very high, like I was on top of the rock. Like, not mountain, but yeah, more like a rock, but really, really high. And as I was turning, looking towards the sea, towards the horizon, the rock was getting like lower and it was going into the sea, and at the very far away there was a lighthouse. And as I was walking, it was really steep and high hill to get on the top of the rock. So as I was walking, it was so windy, it was challenging. I had my hoodie on just to cover my ears because it was so windy. My hair was going crazy. Not like now, it's all done, right? But my hair was going crazy, and I'm like, oh my God, why it's so windy? As I got to the top of the rock, the sun was just about to go into the sunset, like to be really low. There were beautiful colors. There were birds flying around. And as I got onto the very top, I just was taken away completely. I was breathless. I was just, for a moment, I was emotionless because it was so stunning and beautiful. And I was just like, wow, this is so beautiful. And I started crying. Tears started dripping, just coming through on my cheeks. And I was like, oh my God, it's so beautiful. It's so stunning. And these beautiful rocks was going far away into one side, and the other side, it was stunning. And I stood there as the wind was just drying tears off my cheeks. And I thought to myself, oh my Lord, I always wanted to come to Cornwall. I always was wishing to be here. Always was dreaming to be here. And now I can see why. Because it's so beautiful. Because it's so picturesque. And I felt that connection with the nature. And I felt like that bird which is just flying at that moment. I felt being that bird. So free. So liberated. So light, like I dissolved with the sea, with the air, with being that bird. And at that moment, I remember telling myself, that inner voice saying, you see, you traveled all the way to Cornwall. You always wanted to come here. And believe me or not, I was offering so many people to come to Cornwall with me. But then for one reason or another, they couldn't, either children arrangements or work arrangements. Not everybody can work as I work remotely and on a video. So I understand. But I was offering so many people, let's go together. And people couldn't make it. And I was like, well, okay, I'll go on my own. So as I stand there on that beautiful rock and I'm observing this place, I'm thinking, wow, I always wanted to come here. And this inner voice tells me, yes, you always wanted to come here. And look, you did it. Olga, you don't have to wait for other people to do what you always wanted to do. And even now it makes me so emotional, because for years and years and years, I was always waiting to do things with somebody else. I was insecure. I was not confident enough to step up and make a difference on my own. And right now, you watch this live. Right now, you see me going live every day, bringing guests, bringing more value to you. Right now, you see me recording videos and posting that all. I could not do it before. I couldn't, because I always felt the need to be with somebody else to do it. That if you do it together, then it's less scary. If you do it together, it's easier. If you do it together, then, it's something else. But I was always afraid to do it on my own. And that really hit me. That hit me so hard. Honestly, I don't want to get emotional now. But even now, I feel it's getting somewhere here, right? Because I realized that I was stopping myself not doing this, what I do now, for a while. Because I simply thought I need somebody else holding my hand. And of course, I do these lives for a while. I do record videos for a while. But I was never recognizing that I do it, that I overcame my fears. I overcame my insecurities. Right? So this is how sometimes our stories can impact us. As much as I was working on myself all the time since the age of 13, that was my biggest passion, the self-development, the journey of you discovering yourself and helping others to discover yourself. I still caught myself on the top of that beautiful rock, observing the beautiful sea and horizon and then sun setting and beautiful birds. I realized that you don't need anybody holding your hand to do what you want to do. You already can do that. So even though that was my revelation back then, that actually I enjoy it. And this what was my biggest thing. I was like, but actually I enjoy travel on my own. I mean, I always knew that I enjoyed traveling on my own. That was always my thing. Since childhood, I always enjoyed my own time because I am an introvert. And those who think I'm an extrovert right now go, what? You're not an introvert. Yes, I am, but I trained myself how to be extrovert. I trained myself how to be okay with the audience, how to be okay with people, how to really enjoy, and I really do. I enjoyed 100% being with people. I enjoy 100% communicating and being in a center of attention. I enjoy that. But same time, I'll be totally fine being on my own. But again, one thing is to be aware of that and to know that, but second thing is to really pay attention to that. And this is what I told myself on that day on the top of that rock and with beautiful scenery. I said to myself, Olga, if you enjoy so much doing this solo trip, in that case, go bigger, go global, go massive, change even more lives around the world on your own. You don't have to wait for somebody who actually can join you in your travels of transforming so many people's lives. You can do it. A, you're passionate about this. B, you enjoy doing that. So go after that. But I know it was my revelation. There's one thing I know. This could be your own revelation as well. Do you sometimes wait for somebody to come into your life to make you happier, to make you braver? Do you sometimes feel that you need somebody and something to help you to set off and make a difference, to help you to establish a business, to help you to leave unhappy relationships and go into a happy one? You don't have to wait for anybody. You've got it already. You really do. In fact, everything you need for your next stage of your life, it doesn't have to be the life, the next stage of your life. Everything you need for the next stage of your life, you already have. And when you will need more stuff for the next stage of your life, you will get there. But stop not allowing yourself to move. just like I was doing that for many, many years. The only reason you see me alive right now, because I was working on myself and overcoming my inner demons, overcoming my inner insecurities and limiting beliefs. Who gonna listen to me? This message is not important, right? So it is important for you to move on. And look at this comment from Andy Horry. Love it. Really powerful topic. Very nice and great from Subha Rao. Andy Harry, thank you so much again, saying what a journey you've had. Totally resonate. You see, nobody ever would say this if I would not go live right now, if I would not overcame before my inner insecurities. And I still do, because the higher you want to go, the more you want to achieve, the more inner demons you will face, and the more you need to overcome. Just like when you want to build really tall building, the more groundwork you need to do to secure the basement of the building so it doesn't collapse, so it doesn't sink in one end or another, right? So that's why the more you want to grow in life, the deeper you need to go into your subconscious. And Andy, thank you so much for this amazing comment. Can also be a block when we do everything on our own. The balance can be a challenge. Following your intuition helps. And I agree with you, Andy. Totally agree. And I can resonate with you 100% because I was the one who was, I'll do it all. You know why? That was another revelation, which I also had. Because I was programmed that way and I was trained that way in my family. Being the eldest, I was trained to look after my siblings, after the household, to make sure food is on the table and everything is organized and tidy and clean, right? So that makes you being capable doing things on your own. That makes you think you should do it all the time without asking for help. They were too little to ask them for help, right? So it's important to realize, and you're right, it is about finding that balance. And the thing is, if you watch the interview which I had with Andy Lopata on Monday, you can type on YouTube, Andy Lopata and Olga Geidane, and you will see that he says we spoke about leadership and how to build better relationship at the leader's level. It is seeking help. It is asking for help. And that was my challenge. That was my big challenge, asking for help. And sometimes, I'll be honest with you, I'll be transparent with you, I still sometimes face it. But here when I catch myself thinking, again facing the same thing, Olga, time to ask for help. And this is what I do. And then I actually push myself and I ask for help because I want to grow even more. Right? So you're absolutely right. It can be a massive block when you want to do everything on your own. But for me, it was always seeking somebody who can be almost like supportive person in this mission, transform more people's lives globally, because I didn't feel that I'm strong enough, right? Or I can make a big difference. Right? So it's important to see what your particular thing is and discover that and treat that with the love and care, but then replace it. So this is really important. I love your question, Subha, about how to overcome hopelessness and unhappy about what will happen in the future. That's an interesting question. Let me say one thing. You don't know what's going to happen in the future. And I know it will sound really wishy-washy, but if you think about your thoughts, if you think about what is here as everything what you put in your mind, consciously or subconsciously, because you do it both ways, anything you put here is invitation for that in your future. So if you think, I don't know what's going to happen in the future, you're going to receive more unknown. You're going to receive more worries. But if you say yourself, I'm welcoming, or I'm anticipating, or I'm looking forward my happiness in the future. I'm looking forward tomorrow wake up and being happy. I'm looking forward to finally find my tribe. I'm looking forward to have lots of joy in my life. this is what your subconscious will help you to get to, right? So you can overcome it only by consciously replacing what you already placing subconsciously into your mind, right? So trick your subconscious. There's a great phrase which people like and don't like at the same time: fake it until you make it. It's not about faking for others, it is faking for yourself, right? Fake that feeling, okay? Fake what you think will come with what you want to come. Bob Proctor, he is the god when it comes about, if you can hold in your hand, in your head, you can hold in your hand, right? Listen to Bob Proctor. He talks a lot how your thoughts manifest in your reality. So it's important to remember. And thank you so much, Andy, for this amazing comment. We are all programmed not to make mistakes too. Failing more is a good sign. We're being courageous and living life to the fullest. This is so true. We all need to be brave. Brave to step up, brave to go after what you want, brave to actually change your life, brave to achieve things, brave to speak up for yourself. It is really important, because if you're not, this is when actually you don't allow yourself to live life to the fullest. I hope it served you. I hope you enjoyed that, because it's really important to discover what exactly holds you back so you can live a full life. So if you are considering to discover yourself, if you are considering to reconnect with yourself, in that case, either solo traveling or even taking your time by yourself, just going away to the park, to a different city, but being by yourself, right? Solo traveling doesn't have to be worldwide. Solo traveling doesn't have to be for a month or 6 months, like one of my clients did, which was amazing. I was so envious. I was like, oh my God, this is so amazing. It doesn't have to be for so long, right? It could be a short trip, but solo traveling with your soul traveling with you. Right? I hope that will serve you. It served so many of my clients. If you're considering this, I would strongly recommend come up with questions which you can ask yourself on a daily basis during the solo traveling, as my clients did, because that will help you dive into your subconscious even deeper. And because questions are strictly individual, based on what you want to learn, based on what your background is, and based where you're going, I can't really say what particular questions they can be. Something along the line, if I say very, very vague question, could be, for example, what makes me happy? That question you can ask yourself, but there are many more questions which we can come up with so you can learn more about yourself. And even if you just don't go away, but you decide to work on yourself, on your subconscious, on you still can do it even at home by taking your own time once in a week, maybe once during the day for an hour and a half, and you can ask these questions yourself as well. But again, we have to come up with them together, because it's based on what you would like to learn about yourself, how deep you would like to go, what's your priorities right now, and where you're going. I am more than happy to support you and to help you with this, because I know personally how challenging it is, how not easy it is in the beginning, how much you have to overcome. So I'm more than happy to support you with this, either solo traveling or soul discovery, which we can do together with you by coming up with really powerful questions. All you have to do is just contact me. You know where I am. You can send me a message or you can WhatsApp me. It's also fine. But I really, really, really wish you will take your time off your day, off your week, off your work, off your family, off all that noise which we have, especially because of social media, and you will work on yourself, because only then you can really be really you, reconnected with yourself, powerful person, the way you were born to be in order to make a difference. And difference doesn't have to be global. It could be a difference in your family. But remember, if you are not full, if you don't have an apple, you cannot give an apple. So in that case, make sure you work on yourself and you always take time for yourself. Thank you so much, Andy, for your comment. Human design is a helpful system when you're solo traveling too. That's true. Helps you to let go of the conditioning and be you more. This is so true. We all must step up and be more us, more ourselves, more who we really, really are. So thank you so much, everybody who joined me all around the world. It was wonderful to see so many countries in here. I love seeing how international we are going. India and Pakistan, and we have also North London. That's amazing. And as I said, we also had Australia, Kinsey Lanzarote as well, Chepstow. That's amazing. I really, really loved seeing, in Canada, of course, I really loved seeing how international we were today. This is amazing. Thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you for your input. And please keep me updated about your solo travels, whether you are planning to go or you just came back. What evaluations did you have? I would love to hear. Please comment below, because with your comment, you can inspire many others. And by the way, another client whom I picked up as I was traveling, because you do speak to people and they wonder what do you do, and I say I'm a coach and I transform people's lives, and we really reinvent people together, reinvent their souls. She actually was just there walking her dog where I was walking, and she said, you know what? We started working with her, not the same day, but we started working with her. She became a client, but she also said that you inspired me so much with your strength of traveling on your own that I decided to do it as well. So this is what happens with you sharing your experience. You can inspire many other people. So thank you so very much for joining me today once more. I wish you a wonderful day, and please don't forget to do your soul traveling by solo traveling so you can reconnect with yourself and be real you. Thank you so very much. I really appreciate you. I really value you. Sending you my love. And I'll see you tomorrow at 1 p.m. because tomorrow is going to be topic on relationships and intimacy. And I'm really, really excited to talk to you tomorrow. See you tomorrow. Have a great day.